Hello, everybody. I am Jackson Hopkins, and I'm here with the current Associate Director of Bands and the soon-to-be Director of Bands here at Kansas State University. I am here with Dr. Alex Wimmer. How are you doing today?
Good, Jackson. Yourself?
I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah. How does it feel to be the new Director of Bands here at Kansas State?
It is. It's still surreal. Like I'm sure it's going to hit me at some point in time. It probably won't until things calm down in the summer. But it is. It's pretty remarkable. This is what I wanted to do as a career, and long story short, I was a public school teacher in Gretna, Nebraska, right outside Omaha, and I left that to pursue this dream, full well knowing that it could be quite a while before I would become the director of bands anywhere. But to be able to do it here, where I did my master's and my PhD, and where I was the assistant, and then worked up my way to be associate. It's crazy to fathom, but I'm very grateful for the opportunity and very thankful for the opportunity that a lot of folks believe that I could, attempt to fulfill those shoes.
Yeah, not big shoes to fill there. But yeah, no, it was announced at the band banquet that you were going to be the director of bands. Did you find out right then and there, or did you find out like beforehand?
No, I knew beforehand, and so that was probably one of the more challenging times of my life, just knowing that this was going to happen, and then just trying to figure out how I was going to react. I would have rather not have known, and for it to be a complete surprise, just so then that way, like, it wasn't just festering in me. But I got the contract a couple days prior to, and made it official. So then that way, when it was announced, it could be done by the books and the way that it needed to be done. And so I'm grateful for that. But it was So I knew a couple days prior to.
Okay, so so it was like only a few days before?
Correct.
All right. And how are you able to like keep yourself together and not like reveal anything until then?
Oh, that was that was really challenging. So my approach through the interview was, I didn't want to do anything that would potentially compromise the process or compromise the position that anyone on the committee was. And so, the hiring committee were people that I've worked with, people that I work with on a daily basis. And so, when I said to you all at the band banquet, I felt like I was not myself for a couple months, and that's 100% true. You want to make sure that you say the right thing, that you are not saying the wrong thing, and it was hard. I'm all about doing hard things. As if that you've gotten to know me so far, through like marching band, but it was pretty challenging. But the great thing is that I still got to do my job. I still got to work with students. I still got to teach classes, conduct ensembles, work with the marching band, do basketball band, cat band. So I had plenty of things to take my mind off of that, which was really great. I feel, I handle being busy fairly well. I purposely made myself even more busy just so that my mind was occupied and I didn't have to, be caught sitting twiddling my thumbs and wondering, I wonder what I think in my head right now. And I try to just keep myself preoccupied during that time, during the interview process.
Yeah. And like with marching band and cat band and volleyball band and just all the bands all together, how do you manage all that?
That's a great question. I'm a very unique individual. I thrive in situations where I'm asked to do a whole lot. Like I just said earlier, just a moment ago, that I don't do very well when I'm not doing things, and I am just a unique person. My wife and I talk about that quite a bit, and how I can just be given more things to do, and I find a way to get it done. Someone told me early on in life, the most successful people are the people doing things, not the people that are just letting things happen to them. I don't want to be watching and waiting for life to come to me. I want to be out in life, and I want to be doing everything possible to make every moment in life possible, because we never know when our last moment on earth is going to be. I know that's a bit of a big thought to be able to have, but I don't want to take any moment for granted. And if something's put in front of me, my answer is yes. I do say no to some things. I have a young family, and I got to make sure that I am, I'm around long enough to be alive, to be able to see them, but also to be present in their lives and their activities as well too. So, but I wouldn't be where I am right now if I was afraid of work, or if I was afraid of things being confronted with things too. So it's a challenge that I accept, and it's just how, unfortunately, you can imagine me as a middle schooler or as a young child, and what you see right now is pretty much the same person.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, when it was first announced to you that you were going to be the new director, what was going through your head, and like, what was your initial reaction?
Just shock. Like I said earlier, this was the goal. To be able to be in a position like this, I never imagined that it would have happened to me this early in life. And I'm not naive to think that things like this happen to everybody. And it happens for a reason. I believe that everything happens for a reason. And I was just in shock, but at the same time very grateful for the opportunity just to be to take over for a storied program, to continue to build upon the work that has been done by Dr. Trace here for the last 33 years, and to just try to make people better through music, try to make people better through band, try to make people better through gutting it out in a hot rehearsal where you may not be feeling it, but we all need it. None of us choose to go outside in 100-degree weather and to do what we do without some other type of greater purpose. And I think band is a microcosm of life. And if we can find meaning through the act of being a member of the band, then it can be life-changing and potentially life-saving. And I think that's really worth it. So to go back, I was in shock, in disbelief. And I remember when I signed the contract, my family was around me, and we just hugged each other, and we all shed a tear just because of the joy and the amount of the work that was put into it by everybody at the team effort. Very grateful for my family and their support. And then I called members of my immediate family and told them over phone just to share it with them and just ask them to keep it private for a while. But just it was just shock and just very grateful for the opportunity. And just looking forward to the future.
Yeah, no. And speaking about Dr. Trace, he had a very big impact on the Kansas State bands and made the band what it is today. Mm-hmm. And yeah, what does Dr. Trace mean to you?
Oh, he first started as my mentor. I came to K-State to study with him because I wanted to be a band director like him. I feel like he and I share a lot of traits. We have a lot in common, even though we're both very different people. He's a mentor, and then he became a colleague, and then he's a dear friend. I just got done rehearsing with my group, the Wind Symphony, and we are doing the world premiere of a piece written for him called "With Passion, with Pride." And to be able to see him conducting the group that I work with on a daily basis is just a culminating, big full circle type moment. I left public school teaching to come to study here, and was grateful to be able to work with Dr. Trace, and to continue to learn from him. There's not a single day that has gone by where I've not learned something new from him, about rehearsing or working with people or leading people, motivating people, handling the minutia, all of the administrative work that comes with a job like this. He teaches me every single day, and he's going to continue teaching everyone every single day, even though he's retired. That's just, he's a lifelong teacher, and he means a lot to me. I wouldn't be sitting in this chair right now if it weren't for him and the amount of time and effort that he invested in me and with everyone else too. Even though you are one of 400 people on the field, he has a significant impact on everyone that he encounters, and he means a great deal to me.
Yeah, and out of everything that he's taught you, like, what is the one thing that has stuck with you the most, like, throughout your life?
Leave it better than you found it.
Yeah.
The thing that he says after after every rehearsal, after every game, just to leave it better than you found it. And if you really embody that and break that down to what it means, like each one of those words, and then reading in between those lines, like, it's a fairly heavy statement, and it's a statement with great responsibility. If you are working hard personally every single day, you're going to leave it better than you found it for yourself. You're going to leave it better than you found it for someone else, and you are going to set them up, or you're going to set yourself and whoever around you up for success to be able to be better the next day, to be better the next week, to be better the next month, et cetera, et cetera. So that is something that sticks with me a lot, and just to have fun. I can be a fairly serious person at times, but you got to learn to enjoy life. Life is too short, and goes so fast to not enjoy moments with other people. Like, it's great that you have a good time on your own, but if you're not doing, we're not put on this earth to be alone, and just to be able to connect with people and to have just a good time with people. So leave it better than you found it, and just to have fun.
Yeah, and it was announced at the beginning of band camp that he was going to retire at the end of this year. What was going through your head, and what was your reaction when you first heard about that?
So I'd kind of known that it was coming, that it was happening, and so similar to my response to you about when how did I feel? Like I started paying attention to him in ways that I never, that I haven't in the past. And not that I don't pay attention. That's not what I'm saying, Dr. Trace. If you see this, I do pay attention. But knowing that this was going to be his last first day of band camp, knowing that this was going to be his last day of band camp, this was going to be his last first home football game, this was going to be his last Central States, the beginning of the end for him. And to see him live every day, every moment of life to the fullest, full well knowing that after this, he's not going to be able to have those opportunities. So that was different. But the coolest thing, I think, now that I think about it a little bit more, Jackson, is that aside from me knowing that, I don't know if anyone looking from the outside in would really know that. His ability to be consistent, to consistently give, to consistently have the tenacity, the drive, the energy to do everything that he does on a daily basis. I don't know if anyone would have known that if they didn't know that he was retiring. I could be totally wrong, but I just saw a lot of consistency, and it just meant even more. This will be my 13th year here at Kansas State University, knowing that from day one to his last day, he is the same man, the same teacher, the same human being that he was when I first met him.
Yeah, with Dr. Trace retiring and you stepping in your 13th year here, in your first year as a director of bands, what do you hope to accomplish within that first year?
Hopefully, from an outsider perspective, no one is going to notice a difference. The K-State band program, which consists of the Pride of Wildcat Land, the volleyball band, the basketball band, all of our concert ensembles, how we interact with the School of Music, with the music ed department. Hopefully, no one will be able to see or notice a difference between what has been in the past to what is going to be next year. So hopefully I can be able to bring that consistency, that high standard of excellence, the standard of excellence of performance that is expected out of all of us every single day that we show up. Hopefully that won't change. I'm sure that things will change because I'm a different human being. I have my own way of going about achieving the same goals that Dr. Trace would, and hopefully, not that it's going to be better, but just the differences will allow just for continued growth, not necessarily more growth, but for people to continue to grow. We can either go through life watching it pass us by, or we can go through life embracing everything that comes at us and learning from those opportunities. So hopefully I can be able to provide those opportunities through the consistency of those expectations, the consistency of leadership, the empowering of students. I feel like I can speak on Dr. Trace's behalf. When we step onto the field, step into Bramlage, step onto the stage, it's not me making the music happen. It's all of the students. And so it is a group effort that relies on the responsibility on the shoulders of students. We happen to do the rehearsing and the planning and all. We provide the vision, but it's the students that are performing. And so hopefully that will not change, and we will be able to continue to empower people like you to do those things and to give you more opportunities just to shine. It shouldn't matter who's in front of the band still has to perform and meet those expectations no matter what. People change, but the name stays the same. So the name that is associated in all of the words that are associated with the Pride of Wildcat Land, the K-State band program, and how we interact with everything here at the university and within the community and within Wildcat Nation, hopefully will be the same.
Yeah. And what all are you hoping to keep the same? And is there anything you're wanting to change or do different?
Oh, wow. To be honest, I don't know if I necessarily have gotten there, just because we're in peak preparation for the Big 12 tournament for basketball. Yeah. Ooh, I just want to keep investing in people. I want to keep giving people opportunities to exercise leadership within themselves, leadership over their peers, not over their peers, leadership with their peers, leadership within the band setting that will transfer over to whatever they're doing, college engineering, agriculture, architecture, music education, music, all of the facets that, there are so many majors that come to that are part of the marching band or that are even in our concert ensembles. I hope that the experiences they get with us as directors and staff will just continue to empower them and give them those opportunities to exercise their leadership. So when they leave K-State, when they leave Kansas State University, they can naturally have not necessarily a leg up, but they can have experiences that other people haven't gotten, and that'll allow them to naturally rise with the tide versus being pulled up by someone or being pushed up by someone else that is, that has zero control over them. And so hopefully giving those experiences and opportunities to students will still be able to happen. And that's what I'm most looking forward to. I've had moments where, I can do some of that in my current position, but be able to have oversight and breadth and depth over all of that. That's something that I'm really looking forward to.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Trace had a really great bond with football coach Chris Kleiman, and with there being a new football coach, Colin Klein, coming in. Have you had a chance to talk to him yet?
I have not yet, but we have a meeting up on the horizon, and would love to get to know Coach better and be able to discover how the K-State bands, how the Pride of Wildcat Land can continue to have a positive influence and be able to help them win ball games. Whether it's playing loud all the time, or maybe there's a couple of spits that we can be able to put on that Coach Klein is very, very fond of, and we can just be able to help create that level of excitement and that level of energy in Bill Snyder Family Stadium moving forward too. So whatever we can do to help support the team, I want us to be. I want us to be doing that, whether times are good or times are bad. I want us to be, the consistency, and we are always showing up no matter what.
Yeah. And I know Kleiman announced his retirement, and it was announced like a few days later that Colin Klein is coming back to K-State. What was your thoughts when you heard Colin Klein was coming back as the head coach?
It was just pretty incredible. Just thinking about that week when that all happened, what Chris Kleiman announced his retirement on a Monday or a Tuesday, and then on like Thursday, like Wednesday or Thursday, like a couple, 36 hours later, Coach Klein was announced, and then he was on a plane here, and I was with the pep band that met him at the airport. Then I was with the pep band that was with him in Morgan Family Arena, and then I went immediately to the homecoming parade after that. So that was just a crazy day. But it's always, it just means so much, I think, to people when people come back. And I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way. But when you have done something for an organization that is memorable. My first year as a graduate student here was 2012 when we won the Big 12 championship. And it was just, I just couldn't handle it at that time as a younger version of me, being able to watch all of that happen. For him to have the run with the team that they did, when people like that are given the opportunity to be able to come back and to build upon what they've already started, that's something that's absolutely incredible. And I have a lot of faith in Coach Klein and what he's bringing to the table, his coaching staff, his players. I try to watch every single video that I can from K-State athletics or from an interview, just to be able to hear what's happening in the mind of Coach and everything. And I'm fired up for it.
Yeah. And you originally said you're from Nebraska, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. What brought you to Manhattan, Kansas?
Dr. Trace brought me to Manhattan, Kansas. So I remember going to an honor band in Omaha with a bunch of my students. I was teaching band in Gretna, Nebraska, and I saw him work with the band. I was like, oh, this guy's awesome. I need to study with him because he's a great conductor. He's got great demeanor with the students, and he's just a really good teacher from the podium. And then I saw him do a presentation to just teachers afterwards, or part of that weekend, and I was like, wow, he is not only a great conductor, he is a man who knows his craft. He knows what it means to be an incredible musician, and he also is a leader of people. Like you spend a minute or less than a minute with Dr. Trace, you can just glean that he is a leader of people. Like he leads and he knows how to do that. And so that got K-State on my radar more. And then I started sending my students to the leadership and auxiliary camp here in July to learn how to become better drum majors. It was just my drum majors at the time, and for 2 or 3 years they would just come back just fired up with what they experienced at K-State. And so that's really what got K-State on the map for me to pursue my master's. And then I came and visited here, and it was the right fit, and the rest is history, so to speak.
What instrument do you play?
Percussion is my primary instrument.
All right. And then what inspired you to be a band director?
I had incredible teachers all throughout school. The first, Chris Tucker was my middle school band director. She started me in percussion, and fast forward, I ended up working at the same school that I went to. I was very fortunate about that, and so she was my colleague. We co-taught middle school and high school band together. So she was the first person. Rob Lubers and Mark Irvin, they both were my high school band directors in high school, and they both made a profound impact on me and empowered me to want to pursue music education as a degree. And then when I got into college, Jim Saker and Erica Neidlinger at the University of Nebraska, Omaha, they really got me, along with all of the faculty that was there, all the classes that I took. They really taught me not only what it meant to be a good musician, but to be able to focus on craft and being the best that you can at that. And they empowered me to have great experiences. I got great opportunities to work with, Pete Wilger and Tom Cosby at Omaha Central. That was my first teaching job where I teched drumline there for when I was going to school. And then my cooperating teacher, Roger Groth and Mike Freeman and Gail Carpenter Johnson, they all were part of that as well too. So that was a litany of people and names of people that have inspired me to become a band director. But if I didn't have an interaction or was forced to do a hard thing by them, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair right now.
And during band camp, you'd always be on Facebook doing the Facebook Lives. So yeah, are you still going to continue that as a director?
I have thought about it. I enjoy the videos, but I'm also glad that I'm not. I don't do that for my job. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of thought. I have on my notes app. I have all the previous year's episodes, and I'm trying to give out good content, but be new at the same time. And I don't stress out about a lot. I definitely stressed out during that point in time. So if it's I'm also happy to pass the baton, so to speak, to somebody else to give them an opportunity to do that. But if in this capacity, if that's what the people want, then I suppose I should probably oblige. But yeah, that's how I feel about that.
And then talking about the band, what does the K-State band Pride of Wildcat Land mean to you?
It means the world. Music first hooked me at a young age, and it was actually I first got into band by going to a concert, by going to in a gymnasium when I was younger. And then I remember the first time that I experienced college marching band at college. That it left a big imprint on me. To see so many people from so many different backgrounds, so many different experiences, so many different walks of life come together, work hard, do things for the correct reason, to be a part of something bigger than themselves, is incredible. There's no other activity in the world where you can have that set of people with those circumstances to be able to come together and actually work towards something that will only benefit people and have a positive outcome, an impactful outcome. You don't have to walk very far outside of this room to be able to see that is not the case in the world. And so I believe that a group like marching band, music ensembles, bands, the arts, have a way of bringing people together regardless of differences, regardless of the baggage that they have. We're able to drop them at the door, do what we need to be doing to produce a quality product, and then, celebrate with each other, enjoy the process together, and allow people just to have nothing but sheer joy from what we're able to do on a daily basis. And so that is, also we sound awesome. and we play powerful music, and we have really great drill on the field, and all of that together. But just the between the lines, like that to me is why a group like the Pride of Wildcat Land is so incredibly special and valuable, because it only brings people together versus giving them another reason to be pushed apart, like most other things in the world.
Yeah. What is your favorite part about the K-State Marching Band?
Just seeing you all have fun. Like I'm not in on what's current, and I never really was. But just seeing everyone smile, enjoy each other's company, seeing people work really hard and then see the results and then realize that that's fun. That's another really big thing for me, is like, hard work leads to results, create that fun that you want to be able to have. And that is just a cycle that repeats over and over again. Just during band is hot, just seeing, what creative things people are doing, especially like at basketball games, like there's always something new. And just seeing people really inspired to come together and work together.
All right. And what separates the K-State band from any other band?
Well, that's the only band that I've known. So to me, there's no, there are other, every single college, institution, high school, they have an incredible band program. But to be a little bit biased, I feel that, the purple Kool-Aid is what, people will call it too. Once you drink it, you can't, you want to be able to taste that every single time. And I know sometimes it can sound cliche, but just the family atmosphere that you have when you walk on campus, band is a microcosm of life, and we are a band family, and we all have to work together. We may not always agree, but just the act of doing that really pulls it together. And there's nothing like running, I stand and watch on the side of the field, but, I'm sure for you all, running out of the tunnel at Bill Snyder Family Stadium, like there's just nothing like it. And like the first time that happens, and just hear the crowd erupt, and then the first time we get to like Wabash and be able to see the sea of purple moving back and forth and everything, that's something that never ever will get old.
Yeah, no, I get that. Next year, are you going to incorporate your music taste into what we play?
Possibly. I would love to do a dad rock show. I think it's a genre that can be that can cover multiple generations and multiple eras of music, so to speak. We'll consider other opportunities for shows. And my personal taste in music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and speaking about shows, like what goes into making shows, and like how do you guys like get into like how do you get the music and the drill and everything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it starts with selecting music, quality music, and there's a saying when we teach when I teach a marching band techniques class to undergraduates who want to become high school band directors. And the drill will not be brought to life unless the music sings. And so that is probably the most important part. You can go and create drill and move people around on the field, but if there's no soundtrack to that, if there's no music behind that, it has a hard time catching and really having a lot of meaning. And so selecting the right music is the first step. Now, here at K-State, we have things like, Fort Riley Day, which happens every single year. So we know that that's going to be a stock show that's going to happen no matter what. We have our All-Star Marching Band Day, which that music changes, but it's going to be geared towards the high school students that come, and it's going to be more towards them. And then, we'll have other, our Central States Marching Festival. So that's a marching festival for those that don't know. We host 40 bands from around the Midwest that come and perform in Bill Snyder Family Stadium in a festival format. We give them feedback, and they watch the K-State band perform after that. It's one of our largest shows and one of our biggest recruiting events here at K-State. So that's another show that we plan for. And then depending upon what is the calendar year, there's other things that we have to kind of consider as well too. So sometimes our music is picked for us in a way because of those events. But if we don't have the option, or for like our Central States show, I've already been thinking. I'm not ready to reveal anything yet. Just been thinking about what music we could do, so then that way we can really hook people on drinking the purple Kool-Aid and having them come back to K-State to be a part of the K-State marching band, to be on campus and to do all that too. So there's a lot. So once you have the music, Then you got to either purchase it like you would anything else. If you're going to do a custom arrangement, you got to get it cleared through copyright and get it done in the legal way. And then once the ink is on the page, and then you can be able to put drill to it as well too. So that's one of the great things that I've gotten to do here at my time at K-State as a graduate student and as an assistant and associate director, is to be able to write drill. And so the music will kind of show you where the formations are, what they are, and how flow happens in and out of sets. Music is not just the ink that's on the page, it's what happens between notes. Really good drill is the exact same thing. It's not just the dot that's on the field, it's the transition or the pathway from point A to point B that really puts the animation to give music life in a visual context. So once the drill's written, then it's about teaching, and you know about how all that works, and just making sure that it's taught and communicated in a way that the members will understand and be able to execute it consistently, and then you have your final product in the field. So in a minute and 30 seconds, that's how we make a marching band show.
Yeah, and during game days and after halftime, the band gets apples. And
yes.
So yeah, and I bet you guys go through a whole lot of apples like every game day and the whole season. Like, how much do you guys spend on apples, and or like how many pounds of apples do you guys go through each game?
Well, it's a lot, and we have some great supporters of the Pride of Wildcat Land. We get a lot of things donated to us from a variety of different places and from different sources. In a given year, I don't know. Someone out there can do the math. I don't know how many boxes. How many apples are in a box? But I know that we pass up like 7 or 8 boxes of apples, and so you can kind of do the math on your own. But it's quite a bit of apples, and obviously not just it's a band favorite. So after you work hard and you're this is hour 6 or 7. Didn't mean to do that. In Bill Snyder Family Stadium, you'll have an apple. It's a breath of fresh air in a way.
Yeah. And what is your favorite tradition that the K-State band does?
Wabash came to mind right away. Second was Word Up. I remember the first time that I got to experience Word Up and just seeing people's reaction. It was when we went down to, after band camp, we usually go down to Aggieville and we play in Aggieville. And that was my first time to experience like the fan reaction to the band playing Word Up. And then because of that, like how loud it gets that fourth time when you play it. The Band is Hot is a great one too, just to be able to see, the creativity, but also the pride and ownership within that too. Those are a few that come to mind right away.
Yeah. And what is your favorite song, or one of your few favorite songs that the K-State band plays?
Word Up, Wabash, Word Up. Twilight, I'm a fan of. Like whenever I kind of blank out at basketball games. Not that it happens often, but sometimes it does. Twilight is usually a go-to for me. I just like like the way it sounds and the way it kind of layers in on top of everything. Yeah, those are a few of my favorites. Yeah.
Going back to football now. How do you think the K-State football team will do this year?
I think they're going to be great. No matter what they put out on the field, I think it's going to be of quality. Because what I know of Coach Klein and his staff and his approach, or what I've heard so far, and because I was able to see it as when he was a player here at K-State, the amount of intentionality, the amount of character he has, and then therefore integrity, I think that is going to make some noise. Granted, we live in this era of NIL, transfer portal, where there's not a whole lot of consistency that is created. I think just his brand of football and what he sells, not just as a coach, as an athlete, but as a human being, I think will bring the people that need to be here at K-State to make some noise in the conference. And so I am awful at guessing records and things of that nature, especially now with rosters changing all of the time. But I feel that no matter what is put out on the football field, it's going to be of quality. People are going to be working really, really hard. People are going to be fighting for the right reasons for the people on the field, on the team, and also to represent what the K-State family expects. So I I grew up playing football, and I just, I want to wait to see the first snap, to see how the helmets hit each other, and how, what kind of pop that makes, and I'll, it's gonna be great. It's gonna ring forever, and people are gonna know when they come to Bill Snyder Family Stadium, or when we go to their stadium, that K-State is the new old school, as Coach Klein would say.
Yeah, and you mentioned that you played football. What position did you play?
I was a tight end and defensive end. So those were my two positions. Luckily for me, because of my just the size that I am, when I was able to go off the line as a defensive end, my shoulder pad went right into an offensive lineman or tight end's hip pocket, and I was able to use my leverage to be able to help myself out with that too. And so I definitely used that to my advantage when I was playing football. And, I was also a competitive weightlifter too. And so that, the combination of both of those really helped me be successful. And I didn't really do a whole lot on offense just because, people don't throw to tight ends very often, which I think is underrated. So, for you to have a good passing game, you got to have a solid running game first. And then that opens up the passing game and then the play action pass. And, why not throw it to the tight end for 3 or 4 yards a pop, run it for a couple of yards, get a first down. I'm not a football coach, and I play Madden very, very, very sparingly. And so I just, that's just my coach speak coming out of that. But so I in a former life, a long time ago, I was a football player.
Yeah. And K-State, they're going to start off with 3 home games. Is that correct?
I believe so. I should know, but I believe that's correct. Yes.
Yeah, I bet that's going to be a chaotic first few weeks, going in. How are you going to be able to manage that?
I think it's going to be great. So I remember when I first came here as a grad student, there were 3 home games right away, and they were like the first week of school. And so I think our home games start like the second week of school. I say, bring it on. The busier, the better. So having that type of busy schedule right up front really sets the precedent for this is what it means to be a part of the K-State family. This is what it means to be a part of the marching band, where we are at all of those events. We're at all the games. We're showing up. We're working hard. We're practicing. There's nothing better, I think, than just to be able to have just to be hit in the face, quite literally, with the expectation of what it means to not necessarily be busy, but just to have a lot of responsibility. Life is going to be busy, and it's not going to get any easier. You've heard me say this in rehearsal too. Life doesn't get any easier. We have to learn how to handle hard better. I think Kara Larson said that. Duke's women's basketball coach, and I really am a believer of that. And just being honest with you, you're not contributing the tuition that you are to come to Kansas State University, in my opinion, to get an easy time. You want to be pushed. You want to grow. You want to become a better whoever, whatever you envision yourself to be when you leave K-State. It's our job as teachers to make you better, to give you that experience. And, I think it's okay to be challenged. And to be able to know how to work through that, so then when you get out into the real world, quote unquote, you know how to go about doing, which is another reason why I feel like marching band is awesome. Like, you learn how to fight through all that, to work through what you're going through, and because of that, if you're paying attention, you'll be able to create habits and systems for you to thrive in those types of environments versus go the opposite direction.
Yeah. And to wrap up this interview, what is the one thing that you want to teach everybody that you want to stick with them for the rest of their lives?
I tell my daughters every single day when one of them rides with mom to work and the other one I drop off. So whenever I see them last, I tell them to, I give them a kiss on their forehead, and I say, work hard and always do your best. You can always work hard, and you can always do your best. And I think if you do both of those two things and you value the process, your return on investment you're gonna see twofold in it, no matter what too. I feel like those are things that my mom told me, that my parents told me when I was growing up, is just to work hard no matter what, whether you feel like it or not, whether it's going to be worth it or not. Your last name is going to be in the amount of work that you're going to be putting out there to the world, and that you want everything that you put out there to be bought at face value. And if you are working hard and you are earning everything that you have, life may be, you might feel like life is doing you wrong, but that you can't be doing wrong when you're working hard. And if you are always doing your best, never striving for perfection, it's good to do that, but it's not possible. But just making sure that you are doing your absolute best, whether that is 100%, doing 100% of that 100%, whether it is 60%, you're giving 100% of that 60%. Anyone can do that under any circumstances without extrinsic motivating factors, without someone pushing them or threatening them or whatever else too. Like if everyone in the world just did that as a non-negotiable, I bet we would be in a different place if that actually happened. So as of right now, at the recording of this interview, that's what I hope to leave with people, is just to work hard and to always do your best.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come in and do this interview with me.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Jackson. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. And that does it for today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next episode.